Hello my fellow whale watchers. Today we are going to look at this Expert League 1 hangar of one of my subscribers. His favorite game mode is Free For All. A bit more information. He is happy with his robots in general and he tries to get Cinder and Grom for his luchador. Alright, so let's start with the Ravana. You run it with 3 Havocs, 2 nuclear amplifiers, a balanced unit and Quantum Radar. For FFA, this is a beast, a great kill stealer, especially with a powerful drone. One of the few disadvantages for FFA is the short range, so it's definitely a learning curve on how to use it effectively. But once you've learned that, this is a really great setup. Also, your pilot is already at level 40. Apart from the common pilot skills such as Armor Expert or Mechanic, for FFA there are a few very useful skills that you should also run, especially Clever Survivor and Roadhog will be a must in high-level gameplay. The Fenrir with Bernadette Wolf and Venom Bane is a reasonable setup in FFA. Nobody wants to take on this thing because similar to the Revenant it has a huge amount of health. Again, it's a short range setup and like the Ravana, it's not the most effective one on large maps, so some optimization potential I can see with the module setup. I would try to put at least one nuclear amplifier also on the Fenrir, maybe one from the Orochi, and swap it with the overdrive unit. The reason is that the Fenrir usually stays alive long enough to take advantage of it. Other useful modules to consider are anti-control, a repair amplifier of course, and something that emphasizes the strengths of the Fenrir, which is health and firepower, for example a balanced unit. The Cruel Orochi with Devastators. This is a very common setup, especially with nuclear amplifiers and a cloaking unit. You also run the Ghost Pilot, which is very solid and helpful in getting kill steals thanks to its ability. Overall, if you're happy with this, there's no reason to change anything. The Crimson Hawk, I guess, is your setup for long range maps. And here, there are more effective setups these days because the 7.9 rebalance was hitting the hails and the snare quite hard. Keep the ECU shield, but try to get your hands on some other weapons, especially for replacing this level 1 hail here. The best setup for the Hawk these days is with the new HMGs. Smoother Cramola would be an incredibly powerful kill steal setup. High burst damage and 500 meter range. Maybe you can get your hands on that. Kairochus is a good pilot for the Hawk. What I find quite interesting is your passive module setup. You run it with 3 repair amplifiers. I have not seen this setup before and I'm not sure if this is the right choice for FFA, because its effect is bound to the amount of health that is restored, and the Hawk simply doesn't have a lot of health, so I think these amplifiers can be of better use on tanks or healers, because even with 3 of these modules you will have problems to arrive at maximum stacks. And when you finally do, most of your health bar will be grayed out. The Harpy has the Shieldbreaker pilot equipped and you run it with Atomizer Nucleon. That's a solid choice for FFA. The Atomizers got rebuffed recently and together with the Nucleon they provide great burst damage. HMGs are of course the best choice for the Harpy these days, but for now also Atomizer Nucleon work great. Your modules, you chose Last Stand, great choice. Also here you could think about optimizing your other 2 modules, which are Battleborn and the Nitro unit. In FFA, both of them could work a bit better on the Orochi, just try it out. The Luchador with Retaliator of Vengeance is a good setup. You're working on Cindergrom in the background, that's also fine. You have very good modules on it, so if you're happy with it, just keep leveling it up. So what could be your next steps? 2 FFA bots that work great these days are the Revenant and the Capri. So if you should get your hands on one of these, this could be worth to put in your hangar. In Master League you will also still see a lot of Scorpions, and also Menders have become very good choices for FFA. So I would consider for example to replace the Hawk with one of these. It's not a bad setup that you run on the Hawk, but after the rebalance and going up the leagues, I think you need to improve it a little bit if you want to stay competitive with this particular build. Apart from that, I would definitely upgrade your Havocs for the Ravana. I think despite the short range, this is your best FFA bot together with your Orochi. And the Fenrir will really start to shine once it gets to MK2. So this concludes my hangar review of this Expert League 1 hangar. If you want your hangar to be reviewed as well, you'll find instructions on how to apply in this video's description. Thanks a lot for listening in and see you on my channel.